For those of you that follow us, we've headed from the East Coast out to Arizona.
To get away from snow.
And today we're in Nevada. We're pulling out this morning and we wake up to this.
Thank goodness most of us melted already.
That's not a lot of snow, and I get it. It was more earlier, but it's been melting. But the cool thing is, it was just a little bit. It's still kind of spitting a little bit, or maybe it's blowing off the trees. But I think when we get up here to the top of our site, the view out to the mountains on the other side is going to be really pretty. So let's see.
It's cold up here. Somebody's going to be freezing in a minute.
It's really cold for me, but I think it's going to be worth the snow just to see those views, because that's amazing. Now let's go get hooked up and hit the road so we can head to Vegas. Were you supposed to turn here? No. We're pulling out this morning.
On a cold, cold morning.
But we're headed to Vegas, which we might have mentioned already. But I wanted to put a quick plug in, and I had a question for you guys. So we have been on this quest, and we're failing miserably at getting away from the snow, and it just keeps finding us. But
it found us camping.
It did over and over and over again. But I wanted to put a plug in. I know we've talked in previous videos about memberships that we are a part of, and we recently upgraded our Passport America to a lifetime membership, and I'm fairly certain, I haven't sat down and done the math, but just in my head a little bit, we have pretty much paid for the lifetime membership just in this one trip west. Everywhere we've stayed, we've done it on days that are not blackout dates. We've stayed at some very basic parks, and we've stayed at some really nice parks, and we've paid half price at all of them. So most recently we stayed at the Grand Canyon Railway RV Park when we were in Williams, Arizona.
Very, very cool little area. You got to check it out if you're in Arizona.
Right on Route 60, the old Route 66 goes right through town, so quite a few cool little mom and pop shops, very small town vibe. For those of you that aren't familiar with out west, apparently in Arizona, as long as it's not a major highway, you can ride your side-by-sides. And we have friends that have a cabin there, so we were lucky enough to go out riding with them several days, and just the views, y'all. The views were amazing.
We are going to take this Can-Am
Defender,
and we're going to rip up the Arizona coastline, the hills.
There's no coastline in Arizona.
Whatever it is, we're going to rip them up.
Tear up the trails.
We're going to see how good that thing really does. So now that we're all out of breath,
it wasn't a bad hike.
It wasn't a bad hike, but the
views are worth it. So this is Sycamore Falls.
And we just left Sycamore Canyon.
Yes.
which is like a mini Grand Canyon. Which
it was amazing.
I think that's deep enough for me to. That's all I need to see.
It's way down when you get to the edge. But it's beautiful. It's worth the hike. It's worth the trip.
Sure, we were screwed.
What's funny is I have like snow boots, and I was like, yeah, it's okay.
Fast forward to we stopped for 2 nights in Pahrump, Nevada. Again, another small town.
Yeah, you can look. There's nothing here.
But the mountain views are everywhere. And as much as I'm not a fan of the snow,
She loved it.
see, I don't know if y'all can see this or not, but see those mountains out there with the clouds and the snow? Those were right across from our campground, and I wanted to put a plug in while I was there. And I know the rate varies depending on time of year and the days that you're there, but right now the deal with Passport America at this particular park was we could stay up to 3 nights, half price. The rate online was $44, so half price, $22, plus tax, whatever. It was called Lakeside Casino and RV Park, so you got it. It's a casino with a restaurant and an RV park all in one.
You're only putting a plug in for that part because you left with more money than you came with.
I mean, I didn't make it rich, but we tripled our money. So yeah, there's that. But it was just a really nice park, y'all. Clean,
10,
well
10, 10
thought
on
out.
Good Sam's.
10, 10, 10 rating on Good Sam's, and for $22 a night, it surrounds the lake. I don't really think there's a bad site there. If you wanted to back there, I think most of them were back end sites. Ours was on the edge of the property, so we were able to put our deck down. It was a little chilly to do so, but we could have done it.
Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of footage on this one because it was cold, and we only was only here for 2 days.
It was very cold. We did take a lap around the lake to go to the casino. They do have a pool and a hot tub. It was a little too chilly for that, but I just wanted to put a plug in because it was a cool little park. Everybody was very friendly. The sites were all concrete pads. The more expensive ones backed up against the lake. We got the cheap seats. We backed up against, it was like a big mound that we climbed up and
Which
took
was
some
good
pictures.
because the sandstorm came through, so we were blocked.
Yeah, it
so
did. It did
that.
prevent the
dust
sand
storm,
and dust
sandstorm.
from coming through, and I'm pretty sure it blocked some of that cold wind. We woke up this morning to a dusting of snow, which is not what I would choose. However, it was very pretty. So that's all for now. We'll pick up with you guys again in Vegas.